Welcome to the fourth webinar in our Navigating BOMA Best webinar series. In this webinar, we will cover the custodial and waste focus areas. So my name is Joanna Sagunathasan. I am the manager of BOMA Best operations for our US portfolios. And today we have our two awesome speakers, Alexandra Lepp, Manager of Sustainability at JLL, and Andrew Fleming, BOMA Best Verification Professional with Demand Side Energy Consultants Limited. Before we get started, we just want to share our land acknowledgement. So BOMA Canada would like to acknowledge that its office is located in Toronto on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, and the Haudenosaunee and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. So we'll start off with an overview of BOMA Best 4.0. The BOMA Best Sustainable Program is a certification program and a management tool that provides a roadmap on decarbonization, waste and water reduction, retrofitting for accessibility, navigating climate risk, and more. It's designed to be a practical approach to improving sustainability in building operations and management. BOMA Best 4.0 launched in April 2023. Some of the changes to the BOMA Best program were made based on the feedback and input from users, stakeholders, and industry representatives. BOMA Best aims to push the industry forward and keep up with important sustainability trends. With the launch of 4.0, we also launched our brand new BOMA Best Hub, which is an online platform and tool to be able to complete BOMA Best assessments, track certifications, and report on building and portfolio performance. All asset classes are eligible for BOMA Best. Buildings are eligible for a specific asset class if more than 75% of the building is the applicable building use and meets the minimum floor area requirements. The universal asset class is available for any building type that is not categorized here, from aquariums to zoos and anything in between. BOMA Best does not certify new construction, so a building must be in operation for a minimum of 12 months to be eligible for BOMA Best. Details on our asset classes can be found on our BOMA Best website. So BOMA Best 4.0 now includes 6 focus areas, compared to 10 in the previous version. So some of the new focus areas include topics such as decarbonization, equity and inclusion, enhanced engagement, and resilience. So BOMA Best 4.0 also has a reduced number of baseline practice questions, now 12 questions, and our baseline practice questions are our mandatory minimum requirements necessary for any level of certification. The 12 baseline practices are listed here, and there are baseline practice questions related to each of the 6 focus areas in 4.0. BOMA Best 4.0 still has 5 certification levels. Achieving a level is dependent on the score achieved after a verification is completed. The score thresholds for each level are listed here. A key point here is that regardless of the level achieved, the baseline practice questions must be answered with supporting documentation uploaded to the application. I will now hand it over to Alexandra Lepp to talk more about their experience at JLL.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alexandra Lepp, and I am the Manager of Sustainability at JLL Property Asset Management Canada. At JLL Property Asset Management Canada, we manage over 60 million square feet of real estate for our clients, working with a team of almost 1,000 colleagues across various asset types. I'm part of a dedicated in-house sustainability team that supports the teams and client sustainability objectives. Last year, with the support of various third-party consultants, our team supported over 45 properties to certify BOMA Best 3.0. And this year we are pursuing BOMA Best Sustainable at 38 properties. So today I'll provide guidance on the custodial and waste focus area and the changes from 3.0 to 4.0 based on our experience with the rating system. I'll focus on what's new for BOMA Best, what services are required for a building to be successful in this topic, and whether any old or existing documentation can be used. This guidance relates mostly to office buildings, and I'll then hand it over to Andrew to provide insights on the verification tips. So the main topics covered in custodial and waste are the baseline practices, custodial operations and maintenance and assessments, waste measurement and management, renovations and construction, and training and innovation. To provide some context on how 4.0 differs from 3.0 within custodial and waste, there were previously 4 best practices, 18 questions, and a total of 203 potential points. In 4.0, there are 2 baseline practices that all properties must meet, 19 questions, and a total of 50 potential points. The 2 baseline practices that properties must achieve are the demonstration that a green cleaning program is in place at the property. So these programs must be building specific, include details and inventory of all cleaning equipment used, and the programs must be signed and dated within the past 12 months by a building manager. So they need to be a living document, not static. And second, a waste audit must have been conducted within the past 3 years, which is similar to 3.0. Do ensure that the waste audits are aligned with the BOMA Best Sustainable Buildings 4.0 waste auditing requirements. And just a note, this is applicable to all asset types except for industrial. So moving on from the baseline practices to the topic of custodial and waste procurement, there's a new emphasis on the property's demonstration of applying circular economy procurement strategies and social procurement strategies. Previously in 3.0, these were referred to as environmental procurement programs. And of note, there is a useful checklist within the field guide, which references a circular self-assessment and areas of opportunities document that was prepared by BOMA that building managers can use to orient themselves and assess which circular economy strategies might already be in place at their buildings. And then from there, recommendations are given to further build on current strategies and more deeply embed circularity within building operations. With regard to custodial maintenance and operations, and specifically on this slide, pest management, previously the focus was on whether pest reduction strategies were in place at the building. And now the focus is on whether an integrated pest management program is in place at the property and if it's regularly assessed for effectiveness. So here, an integrated pest management program is really a comprehensive approach to pest control that aims to minimize the use of pesticides and emphasize prevention, as well as non-chemical pest control methods. This involves a combination of strategies to effectively manage pests while minimizing harm to human health and the environment. So, for example, the use of indiscriminate pesticides is not favorable. The requirements for the IPM are listed here, and I'm sure Andrew will get more into the details on those. On the topic of custodial maintenance and operations, specifically with regards to cleaning, the importance of maintaining hygienic conditions in the building remains consistent from 3.0. The main focus areas in this topic are demonstration of enhanced cleaning protocols during flu seasons and evidence of implementation, and inventory of all cleaning products and equipment. So new to this topic is that an additional point is awarded if more than half of the total volume of cleaning products meets third-party green cleaning standards, placing an emphasis on green cleaning procurement strategies. Also new to this, but similar to 3.0, an independent in-house assessment of the building's custodial practices conducted within the past 2 years of green cleaning practices. Waste audit, measurement, and management. So this topic is the most heavily weighted topic in the focus area. with a total of 23 points available here. There is a new emphasis on identifying corrective actions related to waste audits, bin rate sizing, and waste control in construction specifications. The highest earning points areas are shown here, including annual 3-day waste audits, which will receive 5 points total, and implementation of corrective actions, receiving 3 points, and if your building has diversion rates of over 90%, the building will be awarded an additional 4 points. With regard to bin rate sizing, demonstration that regular visual assessments are conducted, sensors are installed, and corrective actions are implemented. This places emphasis on CO2 avoidance and reductions and really makes this topic one to focus on as an impactful and meaningful area to further investigate and dedicate resources to. There are a couple of new questions related to waste management, focusing on renovations and construction. Specifically, if the construction waste controls are included in specifications for owners and landlords, points will be awarded. And in addition to that, if waste controls are included in specifications for tenant renovation or construction projects, points will also be awarded. Training and innovation is a credit category in every focus area within BOMA Best. Training with building operations and management teams is worth up to 4 points, and these topics can include procurement, custodial, O&M and assessment, waste management, audit and measurement, as well as waste in renovation and construction. Innovation points are awarded to projects that are implementing strategies that go beyond the scope of the basic BOMA credits, and there's up to 8 points available within the training and innovation section, which really emphasizes this new focus on demonstration. I'll now pass it over to Andrew to speak further to the verification tips.
Thank you, Alexandra, for that presentation. And from there on in, we'll look at some of the new 4.0 custodial and waste questions. The first question will be question P3.2. Has an assessment of the building's custodial practices been conducted in the past 2 years? The question requires a custodial effectiveness assessment report to assess whether the building's green cleaning program requirements are being met. The report must be conducted by someone who is not affiliated with the custodial management staff. It must include a review of the standard operating procedures and evaluate to what extent they're being implemented at the building. The report must also check green cleaning products and equipment specified and evaluate to what extent these are being used at the building, as well as any pesticides applied over the last 2 years. For the latter, the report must demonstrate the extent of the low risk versus conventional pesticides applied and determine if changes are needed. Finally, the report must present an inventory of the different space use types and determine the level of cleanliness and pest management in each. Finally, the report must also provide guidelines for improvement where cleanliness is lacking, as well as identification of corrective actions taken. The verifier will be looking for this custodial effectiveness assessment report. In particular, the verifier will be looking for the credentials of the persons who have conducted the assessments, as well as photos and other documentation that demonstrate corrective actions that were addressed. Moving on, we have question 4.1. Has a waste audit been completed for the building in the past years or sampling for more than 24 hours? There are 3 possible answers for a total of 5 points here. There are 3 points available for audits that get completed every year. There are 2 points for waste audits that take place over 3 days, and 1 point for waste audit sampling that take place over 2 days. The question requires a waste audit that meets the requirements laid out in the baseline practice and respects the selected time frame. The verifier will be looking for the demonstrated time frame with dates in the audit report. Also, if capture rates appear strange, the verifier may require more inquiry. This may involve the investigation of other waste tracking data that may be made available through the waste contractor. So, let me just move on here. Moving on to questions involving waste management is question P 5.3. Is there evidence of bin right sizing as recycling and reuse programs are established and efficiencies are required with changing volumes across waste streams? Bin right sizing refers to the methods of adjusting waste collection services to match the amount and type of waste that is collected. The question requirements include evidence of a monitoring system for the fullness levels of the bins, either through regular visual inspections or through the installation of sensor technology, as well as demonstration of corrective actions that are taken to adjust the schedules and/or bin sizes. There are 4 possible answers for a total of 5 points in this question as well. There is 1 point available for regular visual assessments that can be demonstrated. There are 2 points for the demonstration that sensors are installed, as well as 2 points for the demonstration of corrective actions being implemented at the site. The verifier will be looking for photos of bin fullness levels from visual assessments or sensors, correspondence regarding bin schedule and bin size adjustments, and in the cases where supervision services are outsourced, the reports should be made available to facilitate demonstration. Moving on to a question involving training in custodial and waste, we have question P 7.1. Did the building operations and management team receive custodial and waste training in the past 3 years? There are 5 possible answers for a total of 4 points, 1 for each of the competency topics, and they include a point for training in procurement, custodial O&M and assessment, waste management, audit and measurements, and waste in renovation and construction. The question requirements include a list of the names of staff members who received the training, as well as the applicable course outlines and syllabi. Evidence of training received, such as credentials, completion certificates, or records of attendance, are also required. The verifier will be looking for those certificates of participation or official training lists for team members. And the final question involves tenant engagement. Question P 8.1. Do any of the tenant's custodial and waste management approaches align with the owner or landlords? There are 6 possible answers for a total of 5 points, and these include custodial and maintenance and operations, custodial assessment, waste management, waste audit and measurement, and waste in renovations and construction. Question requirements involve the proactive engagement with tenants to understand their custodial and waste goals with the specific topics listed above. This can be demonstrated by providing a sample of feedback or communication received from the tenants that demonstrates where the alignment exists in specific topics covered above. It is important to note that this question is a significant difference from BOMA 3.0, where it was previously requested that the owner sends out materials to tenants. BOMA is now requiring that the tenant actually communicate with the owner and landlord. The verifier, therefore, will be looking for a narrative that describes where the owner and tenant's custodial and waste goals align, and this can be demonstrated through examples of town halls, tenant meetings, and plans, as well as a sample of relevant feedback or communication received from the tenants.
Thank you, participants and audience. We are up on time. So for those of you who sent in questions, we'll be putting up FAQs on our website responding to them. This now concludes the episodes for the BOMA Best Sustainable program. Join us next month for the first episode of the BOMA Best Smart program, discussing the security and safety focus area. I'm also super excited to announce a new BOMA Best Award, the BOMA Best Spotlight Award. This award aims to showcase and acknowledge innovative achievements in sustainability within the BOMA Best Sustainability program. By highlighting innovative approaches, this award aims to inspire others to adopt similar strategies, ultimately contributing to a more sustainable built environment. So if your building has a unique sustainability journey or initiative that you would like to share, consider applying for this award. The winner will be awarded at BOMEX 2024 in Vancouver. Details on eligibility requirements can be found on the BOMA Canada awards page. And for more information, you can check out bomabus.org. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to info@bomabus.org. Thanks so much.